Okay, I'm going to teach you how to do a French braid. I'm going to teach you on my mannequin first, and then we'll do it on my hair. I find it easiest to French braid on wet hair. It helps the hair have grip. You can French braid on dry hair. I find if you have hair like mine though, that's fine and silky. The silkier it is, the harder it is to keep the braid tight, and then it'll fall out right away. Product will aid in this. The product I recommend while braiding is the medium hold pliable paste that we offer. I've already prepped her with this. I took a dime size at most, rubbed it through my hands thoroughly, and then raked it through her hair. If you're doing it on yourself, you want to make sure you take palm to your head and make sure you're actually getting the product through. If you have lots of layers, you might need a little more on the ends. If you have frizzy hair, you are welcome to use any kind of hair smoothing product. The Love smoothing line that we have is really great for that. I would also recommend washing your hair with that first, as it'll aid when your hair dries as to not be as frizzy as it would normally be. So when I do a French braid on myself personally, I typically start it back at the back of my head. I find if I do it at the front of my head, it's not a good look. For me, it makes my head look lumpy. I'm gonna do the same thing on my mannequin. You can use a comb while you French braid. I find when you're learning how to French braid, it just makes it too difficult. There's too many things going on. I usually just use my fingers and just section and finger comb my way through. For the sake of starting the braid on someone else, I always use a fine tooth pintail comb. So that's how we're gonna do this. So on her, I'm gonna braid it how I would normally braid my hair, which means I would take a halo section, crown section, whichever you want to call it. Get everything else out of the way. Make your halo and or crown section as smooth or as messy as you want it. And then we are going to split it into 3 sections. So we have 1, 2, and 3. I always start on the right side of the braid, and when I do a French braid, I always do 1 pass, so from my right side over to my middle, and then another pass from my left side over to my middle, and I hold it there. When I want to collect hair, which is what makes a French braid, I take my left strand and I hold it with my pinky and ring finger. It's out of the way. It's in its own little clip, we'll call it. Now I'll take my middle strand and I pinch it between my pointer finger and my middle finger, and then I will pinch it there. That's also separated. Now I'm going to take my right strand, which I'm going to collect hair into, and just place it over top of my pointer finger. Now, this is where you can use a comb, not use a comb, preference. You're going to take about a 1-inch wide section. The bigger sections you take, if you take the braid out, it's going to be bigger loose waves. The smaller section, the tighter the braid. I usually take 1/2 inch to 1 inch. And we start at the hairline and bring it all the way back to where you want to gather it into. I always just pass it into that hair strand. Make sure everything's out of the way. Now you have your strands again. So you have your left strand, your middle strand, and your right strand that you just added hair to. Your right strand is going to cross over your middle and become your middle strand. Now, we're going to take what is now your right strand, hold it with your pinky and ring finger, pinch your middle between your pointer finger and your middle finger, and just place what is now your left strand over top of that. Now we're going to collect hair again. Starting from the front, bring it all the way back and place it over to where your section is. Make it all smooth. Now you have your left section, your middle section, and your right section. You're going to take the left section that you just gathered hair into, and you're going to cross it over your middle section. So it becomes your middle section. And you pull it tight. Now, left section, middle finger, ring finger, middle section, middle finger and pointer finger. Right section, placed over. Gather your hair, place it over. Make it as smooth or as messy as you want. Grab it. Now you want to entirely cross it over. Pull it tight. Right side. Pinky and ring finger. Middle strand. Ring finger and pointer finger. Pinch. Place your left strand over the middle finger. Collect your hair over the middle finger. Cross it over your middle strand once you have it all collected. Pull tight. Left strand, pinky and ring. Middle strand, middle and pointer. Right strand, over your middle. Collect the hair, over your middle. Collect the hair that you missed. Now you're going to want to entirely cross it. Once you get better, because you have this middle strand pinched between your pointer finger and your middle finger, you can just pull those out and keep your right strand crossed over and pull tight. It's there anyways, you may as well eliminate one step. Right strand, pinky and ring, middle strand, pointer and middle. Left, over your middle. Gather the hair, cross it over your middle. The further down the head you get, if you want to keep it nice and tight to their neck, just either put your neck down, I find helps to keep it tight. If you're doing it on someone else, just put their head forward. Once you get to the bottom and you've run out of hair, this simply turns into a regular braid at the bottom. Take your elastic. There we go. That is how you do a French braid on somebody else. This. Okay, now we're going to learn how to French braid our own hair. This gets a little more tricky as one, you're not staring at the braid, and two, it's behind your head, so your hand position is different. Instead of it being in front of you, your palms are generally up and you're braiding this way. When it's behind you, I find it easiest palms down and you're passing the strands over. Like I said in the mannequin video, I like starting my French braid more at the back of my head, so I'm going to finger comb everything back after it's thoroughly combed through. I've prepped my hair with the Pliable Paste and a little bit of Dede Mist to make sure I don't get super tangled. A good alternative to Dede is the oil almond milk. It's actually my preference, I just don't have it on me right now. So I'm going to start my halo section just above my temples. Section that out. And now I'm going to turn away from you. So, in this halo section, you're going to make your 3 strands. 1, 2, and 3. Okay? I always start from right to left. So I'm going to take my right strand, cross it over my middle. Cross. Hold. Take my left strand, cross it over my middle. Hold. Now, my right strand, we're going to pick up the first piece. Start from your hairline, section all the way back to your right strand. Collect it all into one. This right strand, we are going to cross over over our middle strand. So our middle strand becomes our right strand, our right strand becomes our middle strand. Pull tight. Now, we have our left strand. We're going to collect hair, collect it into the left strand, separate all this extra out, and we have our left strand. We're going to cross it over our middle strand. Over the middle. Pull it tight. Now we're back to our right strand. Collect hair into your right strand. Get all this out of the way. Right strand over the middle. Pull tight. Left strand. Collect hair into the left strand. Over the middle. Hold it. Right side into right strand. Over the middle. New right strand. Now your left strand. Pick up hair. Pull it in. Over the middle. Right side. Collect hair. Over the middle. Pull tight. Left side. This will be the last strand to pick up from my left side. Hold it. Cross it over the middle. Now your final right strand. Cross it over. Now we only have a normal braid to make. I generally pull it to the side as my arms don't quite bend that far back. So when you're gonna pull it to the side, things tend to get a little confusing. So I always try and picture, this is my left strand, this is my middle, this is my right. So when I pull it forward, this is my left, this is my middle, this is my right. Now we have to tuck it underneath, because when it's at the back of our head, underneath to us is still going over. So, braid as per normal. Elastic band. We have a frizz braid.